Why or when should I use recursion? That's a question I get a lot from developers trying to level up their skill set, or just use recursion when they're used to using loops. Let's take a look at this example of banks by region tree, where we have states and cities and then banks nested underneath those. We want a function that's going to get the balances for this entire tree. If we pass in the tree to this function, you'll see that we loop over each nested structure until we get to the bank, at which point we add the balance to this state variable and then return it at the end. And let's go ahead and run it and see what it does. Gets the value as expected. The obvious issues you'll see here are the nesting going on with all of these for loops, which make it not super easy to read, as well as the mutation of the state variable balance. Whenever data can be mutated within an application, there's more room for error. Let's take a look at the recursive version of this code. We have the same data structure at the top. Now our function, you can see, is much smaller. It only has one loop, and it's more concise in the logic. Each branch is able to be called onto this function in order to get the balance for each branch. During each iteration of the loop, we look for an object that has balance. That's when we know we've hit the end of the loop. So when we call this recursively, it functions exactly the same. But the benefit here, or an additional benefit, is that we're able to actually call this with any structure within that tree. If we wanted to know the balance for all the banks in California, we could simply pass that. You'll also notice there's no state variables here. We're not mutating or creating any variables using the let or var keyword. We are just simply returning values from a function and then returning the value from those nested calls to that same function. This means there's no mutability, less room for bugs, more concise logic. This is a great showcase of how hierarchical problems are one of the best use cases for recursive functions.